very much. What a treat it is to see all of you, some of my best friends, my family, my brother and sister. We were all born in the Sisters Hospital right down the street on West Cliff, and it's now a parking lot for the Dream Inn. That's okay. They donated the surf view room tonight, and I wanted to mention why this is such a sacred place for me. That when I was 12 years old, Mike Puget, some of you will remember him, took me out surfing my first time on the casino side of the pier. In 1964, Kim Nomalini, who I'd like to acknowledge, took me out with Randy Hall on this side of the pier. And then in 1965, Reverend Redo George Harris took me out here. And he bought me this big long thing, and it was about 9'1", and it was $75, and I weighed about 85 pounds. And when I got on the nose, it wouldn't curl. It would just let me glide. And so I'm grateful for Redo to bring that my way and to teach me the art of surfing and help me along. I'd like to acknowledge our old Killer Cow surfing affiliation with Tommy Hickenbottom, Alan Souza, John Morgan, Skip Hand, George Harris, and a few others. Dennis Taku, Mark Taku. You know, about 1971, I was out on the pier here at Malio's, or Gilda's, and I was having a tea or something. And Johnny Rigetti, who many of you will remember, was tending bar, and he was washing glasses, wine glasses, with a white towel. And he turned to me quickly after he was looking right over here, and he said, you know, I've been living here for about 77 years, and I still can't get over how beautiful this place is. And that kind of encapsulates my feelings for this place here. So there are a lot of people I need to thank and want to thank, and Karen Toole brought me this design on a little model, and she had these pieces with clay. And I saw it, and instantly my mind started working for about 3 nights thereafter. If I was going to do this project, how would I put these guys together? So I came out here and sat, and I looked on the cliffs over there right by the Dream Inn, and I thought these stones would look really good if they had those colors dripping into the stones, but the stones had to look real, and how would I do that? Well, I thought, you know, I could make these molds of the stones, but I'm going to need the stones, so I started meandering around Granite Rock's yard, and after a bit of thinking, I said, do you think I could borrow like 20 tons of your boulders? I'll bring them back. And Mike Tell looked at me and said, borrow? And I said, I promise I won't hurt them. So I took them, and that's when I first enlisted the help of Granite Rock. And then I took them over to my good friend and buddy for 25 years now, Sean Monahan of the Bronze Works. And Sean and I concocted a way to make molds in these rocks, and it wasn't very easy. My foreman Victor Gomez over there had to put his mind out of the box to get these forms together. And we made them, and we had a budget here, and I was prepared to donate some. We had a budget, and when we got through making the molds of these 13 stones, we had already used up 25% of the budget. And I was just like, oh no, I can't do this, it's winter time. And so then I went to Granite Rock again to enlist their help. And they have a slogan, yes we will. And that's what they said to me, yes we will help you, what do you need, tell us what you need, and you got it. So it turned out I needed over 20 yards of concrete. But what Granite Rock didn't know was that they were going to have to bring the truck out here 9 different times to get this done. And so I don't know, but yes we will is still there, but it wasn't as loud. So I want to thank them from the bottom of my heart. Roger Swenson, Mike Martin, Mike Cowell, Keith Sutterson, and Marianne Wolford over there, who's very dear. And it said there's this new wine from Andre Bogart called Westcliff Wine. Now, Jim Bogart and Ryan Bogart had already graciously accepted my request to donate some of their wine, which is Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. But when I saw the Westcliff, I couldn't help myself. I drove right to Shoppers Corner and I go, you gotta get me some of the Westcliff wine. I mean, how fitting is that? And Jim Bogart and Andre said, 2 cases coming up. So I'm very appreciative of them. And for another treat, we've got these commemorative chocolates. I've handed a few out from Donnelly's Chocolate, recently voted by the National Geographic as one of the top 10 world chocolatiers. So thank you to Richard and Henry Donnelly. I want to thank Gary and Richard Josephson from the Staff of Life. They've donated some sandwiches and foods from their deli. I want to thank Jim Cochran from the Berry Farm, who's donated food and kiwi this year. I want to thank, you know, these oysters have a little story. I built this curb, and then Karen said, you know, some people are concerned that it's going to be a railing item for the skateboarders. So anyway, Sean and I had to go back to the drawing board with the rubber. We had run out, and so I had to send a man up to San Leandro or Oakland or somewhere and get another batch. You know, we've won a lot of awards, and it's usually Tom Ralston that stands up and says, yeah, I did this and I did that. But you know, really, I'm like a conductor now. I may get some ideas, and I may come out and I part around out in the concrete. But it's really my guys that are here, the backbone. And so I am the conductor waving, but they're playing the trombone and the violins. And I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge all of them, or the ones that were actively involved with this project. One of them is one of my right-hand men. It's Bill Goff, and he's an artisan, and he's a wonderful human being. I want to thank Bill. I couldn't do it without him. Another one is right here, Tracy White, who has been with me for over 21 years. I don't know whether to thank him or give him my condolences. He's been a great employee. He's loyal as the day is long. And I couldn't run my company without him. I thank you. I'd like to thank Victor Gomez over there, and Antonio Fuentes, Enrique Chavez. They were the backbone here. I'd like to thank my 2 artisans, Russell Dennis and Tony Silensochil. They're here somewhere, and they're wonderful artisans. I'd like to say, I've never done this, but I'd like to thank my office staff. My right-hand woman, Rachel Chatham, my office manager, who keeps telling me I'm like this speedboat pulling inner tubes around with people, and you know, it's kind of hard to work around you. So, Rachel Chatham, Holly Christensen, Carol Bradley, thank you so much. So, we're going to have a little celebration. I think there are some that are invited over to the Surfview Room that help donate and are involved, and you've got invitations. And I said, that's okay, we'll just get some shells. I've done it before. Well, in about 2 hours, Karen Toole had 120 oysters, shocked, ready to eat, and shells ready to pull out. I'm like, whoa, wait a second. So anyway, we ate the oysters, you know, until we couldn't eat anymore, and put the galvanized pins on each oyster.